are 104,000 in sales.
Brilliant. And have you followed the Beekman 1802 story over in the States?
No.
So the Beekman brothers.
Oh, the Beacon Brothers.
Yeah,
Sorry.
Beekman 1802.
Yeah.
I mean,
Sorry, that was Newcastle meets Somerset. That's what just happened. You probably need to be in there to translate.
the translation.
No, yes, I'm quite aware of what they're doing. And, yeah.
So they do products made out of goat's milk. They started on a farm. They use their own goats.
Yeah.
Milk from their own goats. That's how they started.
Yeah.
I mean, that has been a monumental growth in that business.
Yeah.
And that was all driven through their products being big on the shopping channels.
Yeah.
So is goat's milk as a cosmetic product a trend at the moment? Where are we in that sort of trend line?
Yeah, goat's milk's definitely becoming more popular in the way that people just like more natural skincare nowadays. But you're still yet to see it in that mainstream retail. I've never been into a supermarket and seen goat's milk
Have you
skincare
got
before.
competitors in this part of the world? I know Sarah mentioned one of them, but is there any competitors that you look at that are in the UK or Europe?
There are, however, not where we would want to be in terms of supermarkets. We're looking to get into mainstream retail and get that household recognition.
Household recognition. How? What's the journey from where you are now, where you're doing 100k revenue, to becoming a household name where this business is making 8 figures a year? And do you guys clearly understand the levers that need to be pulled for it to go? What levers do you need to pull? What needs to happen?
So we don't have any livestock distractions, so we can expand our manufacturing capabilities. We don't clock watch because we're a family-run business. We just keep driving. We just keep pushing ourselves. And we've got quite a good following in terms of subscribers. We need to get behind our TikTok more. We need to get behind our social media, Instagram, and things like that. And we really need to get the message across of the benefits in it. And we are continuously trying to do that.
Your brand, Goats of the Gorge.
It's not great, is it?
I'm looking at that going, why would I buy goat's milk soap? And I'm not really, it doesn't tell me why I would buy it.
No.
It says it's handmade and cruelty-free. Well, I'm hoping that, that a lot of products are made in this similar line. So it doesn't say what it does on the tin for me. And here, I wouldn't know the benefits. It's goat's milk and geranium face and body skin cream. I might look at that and go, I've no idea. Can I use geranium? It doesn't say what it does.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, we're always open for suggestions on, rebranding, and we've just done a rebrand, and actually the old label said that on there. But we didn't want to just have people say, oh, I haven't got sensitive skin, so I'm not going to buy that product. We wanted to cover the bigger audience, so that actually, not just sensitive skin people can buy, anyone can use that.
No, but it still doesn't tell me even on the back. You've just said goat's milk is scented, and it's formulated with the best ingredients, including all the benefits that come from using goat's milk. But I've no idea. What are the benefits?
Right.
So it's not explained on the right, okay.
Guys, now, where'd you get goat's milk from?
So we use a supplier in the local village, and then another one we use is a friend of ours in Wales.
So I'm a vegan. Well, I'm not actually vegan, I'm plant-based.
Yes.
But I do think carefully about using animal product. Obviously, I don't eat any animal product, that's dairy or animal. I'm not so strict on the skin care as long as it's high welfare animal. So what sits behind this in terms of welfare? Do you know the welfare of the animals?
So very well looked after.
They're show goats, but she was throwing the milk away before.
Right.
So we've managed to put it to a good use, and we take all of her milk now.
Okay, well, that's a good answer. I also love the fact that you're palm oil free, so you're clearly thoughtful about all of those things.
Yeah.
The smells are lovely. So you're doing a lot of stuff really, really. I love the three of you. I don't know why. And funnily enough, I think you'd be very good on social media. You look just as a family. You've just got a great story to tell.
Yeah.
And so I think you have got a great story. There is going to be a but from me,
Yeah.
and it is because I'm not that supportive of the dairy industry or the goat industry, which I would cause you a problem because whilst what you're doing at the moment, you're quite small scale. You can see the goats that you're buying from, but as you get bigger, I suspect you're going to have to think about those things. And I'm going to stand in your way because I'm going to be saying you can't do that. So I'm just not a good investor for you guys. So I'm afraid I won't be investing, but I wish you all the best. But I'm out.
Guys, love the fact that you're a family. Love the fact that three musketeers. But I can't see another musketeer in this. I think the three of you can make this happen. But today, you've not convinced me that I should join and make the party four. For that reason, I'm not going to invest in them out.
Okay, thank you.
Who's then? Is it Sarah and Peter?
Peter.
Yeah, do you know what it is? The reason there's, I think, a little bit of a delay, a little bit of a pause is, really like you guys. The concern is how much will it take to become a mainstream business in terms of effort, time, money, and is it even possible for it to become a mainstream business? My head is saying there's probably not enough evidence that this will reach the scale it needs to with these to return on the investment, but my heart is like, we'd love to see you guys be successful and help in any way that I can. It's just...
Guys, I think the products are really good.
Thank you.
Yeah, I think they really are. And the fact that we've still got 3 dragons in, I think is a really good sign.
Good sign.
I do think it needs a complete rebrand to get this moving. But the thing that's holding me on is that Sarah's made a comment to say that there's a massive company in the States that has just knocked it out of the park. And I'm kind of thinking, is this the one that could do it? I'll think about it. Steve and I have been talking a lot. Sarah hasn't said a word for a while. So.
While they're thinking about it, I'll let you know where I am. So I'm very familiar with that competitor in the States, and they are going such great guns in the US. The shopping channels in the US fight for them.
How big are they, Sarah? How big are they?
I wouldn't know their turnover, but I know how much business we do with the shopping channels in the States, and I fight against them for big shows, and they probably do 4 or 5 times what we do in the States. The challenge I've got is looking at the business, honestly, I can see the passion and how you work together as a team and everything. But I look at this and I can see, I just see the road that's ahead of you a little bit, and it needs to be something for me that I'm excited in, and I'm trying to get you in and see if I can get excited. A little bit like Stephen, it's a heart versus head. The heart's all in.
Right.
It's the head that needs convincing. And I would feel guilty taking a part of your company when the biggest single thing I would do for this business would be to just make you an introduction to the various shopping channels here in the UK. So I'm not going to make you an investment because it doesn't feel right for me, and I'm out.
Thank you.
Guys, I don't have the same issues as Sarah at all. I think by me investing, I'm really helping you. I'm certainly not taking anything away from you. My issue is the scale of the size of the prize and the scale of this business. That's the bigger issue that I have with it. I don't see a multi-million-pound business here that could be grown. And sadly, that's the reason why I say that I'm out.
Thank you.
I think my head wins here. I think if you do want to hit the mainstream, I think that you do need to have a rebrand. And then I think you really need to use online platforms to tell great, compelling stories featuring goats. You saw the reaction you got when you led with a goat. All your content should lead with a goat.
Yeah.
Because all it takes is one. All it takes is one good video with a goat. For your, we hear it time and time and again. We have entrepreneurs come in here and say, I posted one video on TikTok, it got 4 million views, and we're away. I think you've done a cracking job, and I think you're going to continue to do a cracking job. But it doesn't make sense as an investment today. So I'm going to say that about, but I wish you the very best.
Yeah.
Good to meet you.
Good luck,
Thanks
guys.
for coming in.
Good luck.
Cheers.
Good luck.
The Dragons wavered, but ultimately withheld their cash, and the trio head back to the southwest without a deal.
Obviously, we didn't get the investment we asked for, but we're going to continue to push Boots to the Gorge on, and I'm sure we'll get there.
And before you two kid each other, the reason you were still staying in is because Sarah was still in. Before you come up with all of your clever reasons.
That's just not correct at all.
I'm so proud of both the boys for bringing us here to the Dragons. It was a wonderful experience.
Well done.
It looks like he's hanging there, doesn't he? Yes, sir. I'm David. I'm Barry. We've got a legitimate product that's never been seen on the den before. It's going to change the future of tourism.
They're selling tickets to the moon.
There are times where I sit here, I want to be beamed up to the moon.
We've got huge ambitions for this company. We are going to take over the universe.
The Dragons definitely need to invest in our business now. They need to get in at the beginning. We can only go one way, and that's up. Hello Dragons, my name's Barry Shanks and I'm here with my business partner and friend Dave Doughty. Our purpose today is to seek investment in our company, DD Aviation.
DD Aviation is the parent company of Admiral Jet, a private jet and helicopter service. We provide private jet and helicopters to high net worth individuals, celebrities, sports stars and heads of state worldwide. With current year-on-year growth, our most recent figures show a turnover of 3.8 million and a net profit of £188,000. We're here today to seek a £75,000 investment in return for a 5% stake in our exciting new product, Rocket Brakes.
Although space travel may seem like an alien concept, the rocket brakes will understand the processes required to get people into space, because the process is exactly the same as Admiral Jet, and space is just another destination. So Rocket Brakes is a dedicated space travel agency that brings customers to a variety of space tourism experiences and missions. We provide a truly bespoke space travel experience, be it an exhilarating, adrenaline-fueled mission or a more leisurely journey, depending on preferences.
Whilst in the pre-revenue stage, we feel Rocket Brakes is well positioned to take advantage of the global space tourism market. Industry projections show an annual growth of 37.8% and a valuation of nearly $9 billion by 2030. Before we open up the floor to questions, we'd like to give you a little gift that show what you would look like if you was an astronaut.
Wow.
An out of this world pitch from travel agents with a difference, David Doughty and Barry Shanks.
Oh, I love it.
Yes.
The duo are seeking £75,000 in exchange for a 5% stake in their space age enterprise.
Oh my God.
Wow.
David and Barry may be aiming for the stars, but Deborah Meaden wants to discover if the pair's feet are firmly on the ground.
So, let me understand the business model. Are you selling tickets now for future space travel? Is that the plan?
Yes, correct. So at the moment, we're a private aviation service, and we realised that actually the process of dealing with the high net worth individual market is all about service over revenue. And we thought that the process of getting somebody into space, the process is exactly the same, except instead of South of France as your destination, space is your
But
destination.
I guess my question is, now for future.
Correct, yes.
So, and how far into the future?
So at the moment, one of our suppliers is taking bookings for 2027, and they're doing a test man flight this summer.
So, let's talk about the financials around that. I want to go into space. You tell me how much it's going to cost me, for example.
All depends, as again, we said we're bespoke. So for yourself, Deborah, you probably like a high air balloon style experience and a pressurised capsule so you can drink cocktails, sit in the lovely lounger, view the curvature of the Earth. That's £125,000.
You got up in a balloon?
Yeah.
Yeah, so imagine it being like
It's
the
not
lounge of
fast.
Dorchester, and it has a seating that moves in different directions, you get different views, it has a bar, it has Wi-Fi, and it goes up at about 15 miles per hour, so you get to the curvature of the Earth.
Okay, so £125,000. Do I pay you £125,000 now?
No, it's £20,000 deposit to reserve your place.
Okay, and is that fully refundable, that deposit?
Absolutely, it's fully refundable until you get given your date for launch.
And is this investment for the whole business or for a different business?
Investment for the whole business. So you'll be investing in DD Aviation, which is the private jet and helicopter company, and we will use your investment to take Rocket Brakes to the next stage.
Dave Barry. So if I'm in the UK and I want to go up to space, I go on your website and then you'll provide me with a bunch of different suppliers,
Yep.
like a Skyscanner or a flight aggregator, telling me the best price, the best package, etc., etc.
It's a bit more personal than that. It's about listening to what you want from the experience. And I liken that to a safari. So if you're going on a lad's holiday to Ibiza, it's easy to book your own flights, it's easy to book your own hotel. If you want to go on a safari and you want to see giraffes or rhinos, or you go to a specialist and they arrange everything for you because they want to match what your expectations are and what your budget is to the right experience for you.
But is your business not contingent on there being a series of breakthroughs in the space and
It
technology?
is to a certain extent, but it's just a matter of time, really, and that's why we wanted to get in early.
Guys, interesting. How much cash you got in the main business?
At the moment, if I was looking at the account, probably short of £500,000.
Yeah, you don't need the money. So why are you here?
We're after a dragon.
So what could the dragon contribute to your success?
We've done a dream buyer exercise of who are the type of demographic that would use our product. And we know that high net worth individuals associate with other high net worth individuals. So just your network on their own.
They want our black box so that they can sell them space tickets. Have I got that right?
Yeah, pretty much, yeah. But your network, you will know other high net worth people, you know people that this will interest. I mean, take Richard Branson. When he went up, he became Astronaut 001. I mean, that's pretty cool. And I bet you all know somebody in your network who would love to be Astronaut 001.
I prefer Astronaut 007.
Is that,
Get on the queue.
Is that really what you're looking for? Are you looking for us to introduce you to rich people? I feel like
Well, actually,
is that really what's going to grow this business? Me introducing you to rich
we
people?
want to use your investment to actually start recruiting and taking people in a house, in the office. We've got an office space ready.
You've got the money, you've got 500k in the bank.
Yes, but we use that 500. That's used specifically for Admiral Jet and growing that business. We have a business plan for
You're
that.
not using it to grow the business because it's sitting in the bank.
Yes, but it's so. For example, you need a high cash flow in this industry because we deal with oil and gas clients, and they don't pay you before the flight. So we have to give them 30 days credit.
So you could go get a loan.
We could, yeah. But
So what's the actual reason that you think a dragon can help accelerate rocket brakes exponentially?
the idea is the network, the support. We've been doing it for 3 hours a week for the last 3 years.
And where exactly have you gotten it up to? You got bookings?
No.
You got no bookings at the moment?
Not yet, no.
Dave Barry, you are, I mean, I get it. You are basically a space travel agency. I understand that. The thing that's slightly concerning, though, is the fact that when you deal with the high net worth, you'll typically find that they'll have assistants. And I'm not convinced that what would happen, that individual that worked for me or worked for a high net worth, they would go through an agency. I think you'll find that what they'll do is they'll go direct to the source. They'll cut you out. That's the concern that I've got.
Do you know what it is? The industry hasn't matured yet, so it doesn't have space yet for a travel agent, per se. And we really don't know how long it's going to take. It might be 4 years, it might be 15 years. But when it does mature, I think you guys are well placed. Because you've got experience, you've got clientele that are suitable for this. But I just don't know when that'll be. So I'm going to say that now.
So for somebody who won't take private jets, and I've reduced my flights by 80%, I don't think I'm going to be a natural investor. And my friends would think like I'm barking mad if I walk around and going, I think you should take a private jet or go up into space. So I wouldn't invest, so I'm afraid I'm out.
Thank you.
Look, see where I am. You're great guys, and I think you've got something here. But my money could be used better elsewhere. So I'm going to tell you, I'm going to wish you all the best, but for that reason I'm out.
Thank you very much.
So, the issue I have with the business is my primary perceptions on why you want a dragon. When we asked you, the kind of first words out your mouth were about that little black book and the introductions to our network of friends. And that's something that I'm sure I speak on behalf of all of us. It's not something that we give up in a promotional capacity, which is what this is. So, I think you've got a great business, and I wish you all the best with it. But it's not one for me, and I'm out.
Dave Barry, congratulations. Anybody start a business and can turn over 3.8 million and 180 grand in a business which is tough, which I know it's tough. I say well done. I think that's absolutely first class.
Thank you. Thank you.
And in a way, I do think that your pitch should have been very much about your DD Aviation. Because your best pipeline is your own business right now, not us. That, for me, is your feeder. If you're dealing with major high net worths every single day with your team, you have the real opportunity to do this almost as a softly try as you go, try as you buy type concept within your business right now. And I'd encourage you to do that because this is a long-term burn. I'm trying to say this quietly without Deborah hearing, so don't tell Deborah, but I'm not going to have my own aircraft. But if I ever need something, I'll look you guys up. But it's not something for today that I can invest in, so I'm going to say that I'm out.
Thank you very much.
Good luck, guys.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Disappointment for David and Barry, whose trip to the den has brought them back down to earth.
Slightly gutted that we didn't get that investment. Wasn't that bad? I think we came across all right. What they said was wise. We've definitely taken it on board.
Yeah, we all kind of seem to like the concept.
It was just maybe a bit too soon.
Maybe more used to selling clothes than hanging them, but Tuka Suleiman is always on the lookout for a fresh opportunity.
Diane, so how do you sell this? Do you sell this by the meter?
No, there's 5 set sizes, from 500ml up to 900ml.
So give us an idea of cost and sales, for instance.
Okay, well, our most popular one is the 900ml original.
What does that cost you?
The retail is $89.99, and
Yep.
the cost price is £18.
Right. And where are they made?
Most of the parts are actually currently made by a local engineering company to me, and then they're brought to our workshop where we assemble them and send them.
Wow. I must say, having a quick look, beautifully made.
Thank you.
Good quality. Just give me a little bit of rundown on the numbers. You said 860,000. Is that for 1 year or over a period?
We set up in 2017.
Right. So give us the numbers for the last 2 or 3 years.
Yeah, okay. 4th year, 168 turnover, 100 gross, 8 net. 5th year, 241 turnover, 150 gross, 2.9 net. And the 6th year was 196 turnover, 132 gross, and 1.7 net.
Okay.
Diane,
Yes.
so you seem to have quite big overheads between your gross margin and your net margin. So what are you spending money on?
Well, our actual biggest expense has been advertising more than anything. And some of it is also down to, we've got a big workshop now, which isn't at capacity. And because we produce in this country, we haven't got the volume or the cost of sales margin to sort of like take it to the big retailers. And we've started getting quotes for procurement from other parts of the world and things to try and get our cost of sales down, but that would mean buying in bulk. So there's that side.
Would that mean closing the workshop as well?
No, because we would hope using that for the bespoke colours.
So just to put the commercial case to you, so you say that at the moment you've got high overheads for the workshop. What proportion of your sales come from the colours?
Probably about 20%.
Okay, and do you think if you did away with the colours and just went to 5 standard SKUs and had them in stock and had them manufactured elsewhere, you could save the overhead cost of the workshop?
Yeah.
Would that be a good way forward?
Yeah, we could do, yes.
And then my other question is, why Zebedee?
It's from the Magic Roundabout originally. You're too young, I'm afraid. But it was the character with a spring leg.
Please don't take this the wrong way, but that's a terrible brand name for the business.
Most people like it.
Oh, I like it.
Yeah.
It's a memorable name, but when it's so difficult to get the spelling accurately right, and it doesn't really explain what it does, without you explaining the story to me.
You're too young, Sarah.
I'm too young.
Did you know who Zebedee was?
No comment.
We generally refer to it as Zebedee and the angle. I know it's a little bit long-winded, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, thank you.
Diane, I'm going to say where I am. At the moment, your business is netting you 5%. You need to find a way of getting that up.
Yes.
I know that sounds blinking obvious,
Yeah.
but you know, you're doing all of this work and you must get to the end. I bet you are working your socks off, and I bet you get to the end of the year and think, really? So it's not an investment for me, but it is a very lovely thing you've done here, and I suspect you're going to find its route to success. So I wish you all the best, but I won't be investing, I'm sorry.
Thank you.
I'm out.
Diane, when you walked in, I looked at the product and I started to think about all the spaces in my house that can now be useful. And I think that's exactly the aha moment of your product and why you do have a business here. But I don't think there's enough space in the business for an investor to make a return. So I'm going to say that I'm out.
Diane, it looks like you saw a problem, you went about it to solve it,
Yeah.
and this is the end product. Congratulations. I mean, it's beautiful,
Thank you.
but you've walked in here asking for £75,000, but what you haven't pitched is why a dragon should invest. What you should be saying, guys, I've taken it so far, and I think the potential is X. I need the money for Y to bring it to that destination. And you have not done that. So for that reason, I'm out.
Look, I do think, it's a great product. And to Tuka's point, you've made it so beautifully. However, whilst I'd buy the product, for sure, I'm not sure that you could scale this, especially with the margin constraints that you've got on this type of product. And I just don't see the bigger opportunity here, so sadly I'm going to say that I'm out.
Diane, it's pretty stressful in the den, isn't it?
Yeah.
You've done really well to hold up to all the questioning. And I agree with what everybody said. You've come up with a brilliant product, absolutely brilliant product. But I also agree with what I've heard in that the business currently as it stands, there just isn't room for an investor. Now, I think there could be room for an investor if you were to, I think, close the workshop, move the manufacturing elsewhere, use a third-party supplier, and basically become a sales and marketing business for the product. So I want to pose a question to you. Do you want to continue as you are, or are you willing to embrace a completely different way of doing things, restructure and rebrand the business, and look to see if we can take it to another level?
I am quite happy to do what it takes, restructuring, rebranding. I know I've made some mistakes with how I've done things, so I'm quite happy to take on board anything that's necessary to make it work.
Okay, on that basis then, I'm willing to make you an offer. So I will offer you all of the money, but from the work I see that's going to be involved to get this business to something that can make money for both of us longer term, I would be looking to take 40% of the business.
Okay.
Vampire.
I heard that.
Yeah. I think I'll go talk to the walk and I think.
You can just go straight out of this if you want.
An offer for Diane, but it comes at a cost, with Sarah Davies demanding 4 times the equity she wanted to give away.
Go straight up.
Crikey. Would you do 30?
There's a lot of work involved. A lot of work involved. What I would do, I think it's feasible that within 18 months, if this is successful, we could pay me back the 75. Once we get to that position, I'd be happy for me to own 30 and you to own 70.
Yeah, that's brilliant.
You happy?
Let's do that, yeah.
Excellent! Well done. Well done. Oh, hey, well done.
Well done, Diane.
Thank you very much.
Well done,
Cheers.
Diane.
Bye.
Delight for Diane, who leaves the den with £75,000 and the backing of a dragon well used to turning promise into profits.
I'm shaking like a leaf. I'm really excited though. I'm sure with Sarah on board it will swing into the future and be positive.
That's great. She needs you.
She does?
Yeah.
I didn't see that coming.
Well, that was the idea. I was operating the Peter Jones strategy. Feign disinterest until everyone's gone out, and then you've got no one to compete against.
Oh, God.
Wow.
Got competition now. This is worrying.
Hi, my name is João Andrade and I come from Portugal.
Here we are, Camilo.
Yeah. In the den.
I am Camilo Franchi Castelli. I'm from Italy.
We're bringing into the den something that's going to revolutionize sports worldwide.
Green light. Oi.
It's a race.
I think it's a race, yeah.
It's called 100. So it's probably 100 kilometres.
Deborah likes running. We did that run together a few years ago, although that is maybe the last time you ran.
Enjoy. You too.
You deserve it. Oops.
Hello, Dragons. My name is João Andrade. I'm an ultra runner and the founder of 100 Group Limited.
Hello, Dragons. My name is Camilo Franchi Castelli. I'm from Italy, and I am the CEO of 100 Group.
Today, we're here to offer you an exciting opportunity to invest £100,000 for a 2% equity stake in 100. I've been an entrepreneur for over 15 years, working 18-hour days, 120-hour weeks, mainly in biotech, and that took a toll on my mental and physical health. And so I decided to make significant changes in my life. So I came across this race called the Badwater 135, which is worldly renowned as the world's toughest foot race, an ultramarathon held in the Death Valley in the United States under scorching heat with temperatures rising up to 55 degrees, so that's 135 miles. And I decided to complete that race.
Why?
And I came across the fastest growing sport in the world, trail running. And so when I left my previous company in 2019, I decided to start 100. After 4 years since we started the company, I was introduced to Camilo.
I'm a newcomer.
Yeah, he's a newcomer. He brings with him his vast experience organizing world championships for a diversity of sports and also working with the Olympic committees.
And now we want to develop a trail running world championship. And we now have this year a race in Brazil, then Portugal, and we have the final stage in Italy. In the next 3 years, we want to explode the competition in 9 stages in other countries in all the 5 continents.
Now let's talk about our finances. We are projecting £12 million revenue by 2028. Last year we did £200,000 revenue. This year we are on our way to 500,000. And here we are with you today to ask your help to drive the company to the next level.
A trail running world championship is the proposal from business partners João Andrade and Camilo Franchi. They're seeking a £100,000 investment in return for a 2% stake in their company. Peter Jones is the front runner with the questions.
Joel, Camilo, hi.
Hi, Peter.
That was an interesting story. So you obviously had a very stressful job, but then what you went on to do feels even more stressful. Why on earth, in your right mind, would you go through a stressful life and then say, I'm now going to go and run 135 miles?
Because I had to fulfill what I have here somehow. And I don't think running Badwater 135 is the toughest endurance sport in the world. I think the toughest endurance sport in the world is entrepreneurship.
No, tell me about it. And that's why, to be fair, I don't go running. I see Sarah on her social running 5k every day. She looks like she's half dead at the end.
That is not fair.
At least one of us gets up and goes for a run. You can't even run to the loo, Jones. Right, guys. So this is trail running.
Yes.
So are there other competitors in the sector doing a lot of trail running, or are you pioneering the trail running sector like ultramarathons are a sector?
We are pioneering in trail endurance, which is the long distance running, 100 kilometers and then 100 miles. That's exactly why the company is called 100.
Right, okay. Got that bit.
Yeah.
Commercial model. What's your income stream? Where's your revenue coming from?
Basically, it's on the license. So the license is something that we can compare to the Formula One way.
Okay.
Selling the possibility to bring a competition, one of the only 9 races in the world, in 9 magnificent spots. So the governments of the countries that we are dealing with are very interested to have the chance to be promoted in all the circuit.
Okay, so if I just relay that back to you how I've understood it, the 9 countries that you are selecting for the trails, you get the government of those countries to pay you to host the event there.
Right, and broadcasting rights as well, because there are already 20 million athletes doing trail running, So already we have 20 million people that might be interested to watch the global competition that was missing.
And so just to check then, so,
Yes.
so you said you've done 3 of the 9 races. So the way that you scale from where you are now to the 12 million that you're projecting in 2028 is to both scale the 3 races to a bigger level and to introduce the additional 6.
Yes.
Okay, I think I've got the model.
Joao, Camilla, I love this area. And I love this area because I've observed in my friendship circle, suddenly it seems like a significant percentage of my friendship group have become into ultra athletics. I bought a road bike last week. I've been out riding, trying to do 140 kilometres because I'm going with my girlfriend from London to Bordeaux. So I'm in training. Very much into this space, and I really, really believe it represents the future. So who do you compare yourself to in terms of a comparable brand in the ultra athletic space?
Well, if we look, for example, into triathlon, you might have heard of Ironman. So what Ironman did for triathlon is what we want to be doing for trail running.
Okay, so can you give me a view of their performance financially?
So they're almost $1 billion brands. I think they generate close to $150 million in revenue.
Can I just say though, just take me through this, because this is the bit I don't get. So when you look at the sports, and you mentioned Formula One, when you look at those sports and you see the success, and there's obviously huge success because of the investment from the manufacturers that are participating.
Yes.
You know, you can see the money that's been created from it. And then you've also seen the adoption and the following that's brought.
Yes.
I get that because you've got a level of excitement, you've got a shortened time frame, you've got amazing cars, so you've got the glamour and the glitz. And then I'm about to turn on the television and watch a 21.5-hour race with 3 or 4 sort of people. I'm trying to understand, how are you going to televise and make this exciting to watch on television?
There are different layers to that. The first one, you mentioned something very important, manufacturers in Formula One. So in trail running, you have the brands which are some of them are almost solely dedicated to trail running already. So for example, trail running shoe market is worth $6.9 billion today.
Yeah, no, I get that. And I'm talking about, I'm sitting at home in an armchair.
Yes.
And I'm flicking over through a race with Lewis Hamilton, and it's like nip and tuck, and it's lots of noise, lots of excitement.
Yes.
Over to a trail race. How are you going to make it exciting?
That's where I wanted to get to, because these brands, so for example, you have Salomon, you have now the Nike Trail team, the Adidas Terex team, just for trail running. So these trail running shoe manufacturers have their own teams, and not only the athletes are competing, but now the teams are competing for the ranking as well.
The entrepreneurs are answering all of the Dragon's questions with confidence. And with all 5 of the investors still in, there's everything to play for. Is Stephen Bartlett poised to make an offer?
There's so many things that you could possibly do here.
Yes.
I'm trying to figure out, like, if it becomes the billion-dollar competitor you described earlier, or it becomes meh, based on the core competence of the founders.
Completely agree.
But the branding's not great. The logo isn't great. So I looked over at that and I thought, okay, maybe they're not very good at like brand marketing and branding generally. And that's a big part of it. You want to strike at the heart of culture. This takes off maybe because you get a Netflix deal or something like that. And then it will just catch culture, and off it becomes culturally relevant. Everyone, Tom, Dick and Harry influencer wants to do it.
For sure.
So to get that, you have to understand culture. And the only way that I can see if you understood culture was by looking at that brand. And I go, they don't quite get it. You know what I mean?
One section we need help is exactly what's at the core of the company, which is communication.
So you need help when you're offering 2%.
Yes.
Yeah. I love it. I believe in it. I think it represents the future. The challenge is this 2% thing.
Okay.
Immediately becomes not interesting. You're not even close there.
What would be appealing to you to get involved?
I don't think you're gonna like what I say.
So give me an offer. I'm willing to listen.
I'm gonna make an interesting offer here.
Okay.
I'm gonna offer you half the money, 50k, for 10%. And I actually believe that is in reality, I believe that's a phenomenal deal. All the stuff we've said on the brand side, I can do. But I think my fellow Dragons can help me in various ways, especially with their contacts, connections, and experience in logistics operations. So 10%, half the money.
What's your feedback to Stephen's offer?
I wanted to make a counter offer.
Okay.
Before coming here, of course, we study very well the profiles for everyone. In your case, particularly, this element of communication. And we see the importance of digital marketing, social media. So my counter offer is, if we could go back to £100,000, we give you 5% of the company and 3% royalty on sales until we recover your money.
I'll do 100k cash investment for 5% of the company and a 5% royalty until the cash is recovered. Done.
Okay, done?
Yeah, cool. Thank you.
Gosh.
Appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you so much. Well done.
In the blink of an eye, a hasty Joao